Hey everybody, a little live stream tonight on a Wednesday night. I'm here with Brian, formerly AYBL Maine, now known as Massey's Maine Entertainment. Doc is here. Sean Keys in the house.
Hello.
We've had a series of videos starting in 1965, building the perfect album, where we take 12 songs for the most part, 6 on each side, and build our own personal favorite album from that particular year. There are a couple of double albums that we've done as well from 1969, 1970, and 1971, where we each get 24 songs. That's a little more freestyle and fun to play with because you don't have as tight a rein, but we hope you check those out. They're all in the description below. You can click on any year you want. I don't know what that was.
That was my phone saying that you're on the air.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you, phone.
Notification.
Anyway, we hope people will check this series out. Anybody that wants to join in and fire some questions away, we'll be glad to talk music with you. Movies as well, whatever meets your fancy, so they say.
Absolutely.
Anything else to add, guys, while we're talking? Well, the latest one we did, by the way, was 1973, which we was posted about an hour ago. And again, it's in the link below for those curious and want to see what our favorite 12 songs of 1973 are. We don't know when we're going in, what we're going to put, so it's always a surprise. You know, it's good banter back and forth, entertainment. So good stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's the 70s music, man.
70s music. If you don't like that particular decade of music, then you're lost. What can I say? Plain and simple. 70s movies and 70s music. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
And of course, for those that don't know, Brian and Doc and I have a history of going back, and we did a series of movie videos from every decade, and we had a great time with that. Now we're into the music and taking these years one at a time and trying to build what we consider the perfect album. Again, some of the finer rules here, Brian, why don't you go over some of the rules as far as how many artists and all that kind of stuff?
Okay, if we're dealing with a single album year, one that we haven't chose to do 24 songs on, we only get to pick one song from the album. It's self from that artist. You can also pick singles that were released by the artist that did not appear on albums. That happened, quite a bit in the 60s. Beatles were very notorious for releasing hit singles that did not appear on any albums. You could also pick album cuts, and then that's something that wasn't released as a song at all. But as long as it appeared on the album, the year that the album was released, you can pick a song from there. Sometimes artists would have 2 albums out in the same year. CCR, notorious for that. And you can take, obviously, a song from a different album by the same artist, even if it appears in the same year. So just a few rules there. We didn't want to bog ourselves down with 5 rules. Those rules right there, it just seemed like it was enough. So,
Martin, yes, I am having a busy day. I just got done a 2-hour live stream with the Canadian Stud Muffin. Now we had this planned in advance, so that's why we're doing it, trying to promote our Building the Perfect album series running from 65 through 1994, I believe.
Yeah.
That's the goal anyway. We're hoping more people will jump on and watch these. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate that, and we'll answer all the comments as well. So,
yeah, leave your top 12 as well.
we like to hear other people's top 12s. Hey, Randy, thanks for checking in. Randy's here.
Randy.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah, Randy is always watching our videos and commenting. We appreciate that. He always leaves a top 12 too, which is cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love reading those. Those are great.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're looking for. People that have the same thoughts about music, not necessarily the same choices, but like the same time period, and are interested in it and willing to go down and pick out 12 songs, since it's not as easy to do as it sounds. You're leaving a lot of great ones out, and it's a challenge if you like that kind of thing, and making lists and ranking stuff like that. That's what we do, and we enjoy that. Nothing too deep here. We're not gonna...
Randy was Randy was nice enough to point out in one of the comments there how I missed Joined Together by The Who, which I love, and it was an oversight on my part, and I forgot about that, and I should have mentioned it when I was talking to Randy even yesterday, but yeah, I love that tune, and I missed that one. That's on me. But another Who song that, hey, that's Randy knows what I'm talking about.
And the thing is, when you're doing a single year, like and you can only pick one Who song from the album, that's hard to do when they have a loaded album,
That's true.
Yeah, that was pretty rough trying to do picking songs from Who's Next, even when you get to pick two.
You could pick 6 or 7.
Yeah, that was rough.
Here's Gary from Physical Format. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Gary.
Gary's got a great channel, one of the best out there, for sure.
Yeah.
Even though we don't agree on everything, I like his approach. Very professional. He's fun at the same time. And he always leaves great comments on mine, and we go back and forth. We've done videos together. Gary's a great guy. Check his channel out.
And I love his ambiance, his setup. He's got all these great collectibles and stuff behind him. I mean, I'm into all that stuff too, Gary. And I'm like, I love looking at your backgrounds. It's great.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you for your support as well. Appreciate that. Yeah, Randy's not home, or he would be already probably watching our video. He'll check it out tonight and leave a comment. Thank you.
So really, I think
Randy comes close.
A big question that I have for my fellow guys here is like, if there was a movie that came out that was a rom-com that featured Bill Murray, Keanu Reeves, and Richard Dreyfuss, which one of us would break down first and take their wife to go see it?
It'd definitely be me.
It's definitely Doc. It's definitely Doc.
No question. It wouldn't be me. I can guarantee you that. Anything with Keanu Reeves, I'm out.
Dreyfuss, I'm out.
Get through it because I know what I'm getting with Bill Murray. So I know what I'm getting. So I'm in. So I don't care. That's fine.
If it's got Keanu or Nick,
man, I love Caddyshack.
Keanu or Nick Reeves, I'm out. Those are the two guys that grate on me. And I have to throw Amy Schumer in there too. I can't stand Amy Schumer. Sorry.
I threw a lot of shade on Kevin Costner too. I have to say that. So.
Yeah, I'm a Costner guy. You don't like Gere either. I like Richard Gere.
No, I do not. No.
We all have the guys that drive us nuts. Yeah.
I read an article. It was with the girl who was in Ladies and a Gentleman with her. What's her name?
Deborah Winger.
Deborah Winger. She said that he was very difficult to act off of.
I can't believe it.
He doesn't really. She said you didn't have a lot to work with.
Sorry to hear that, Jason. We'd love to chat with you just to go to work.
Oh, Jason.
Thanks for all your support. I know Jason is always leaving lists and comments on our stuff too. We appreciate that. Yeah, Gary likes Costner. I always like Costner. I know he's kind of underplays a lot of stuff, but I think he's a good actor.
He was great in The Big Chill.
I like him in a lot of stuff, like I like The Untouchables.
Yeah, I like The Untouchables. I like him in the baseball.
I don't mind him in Silverado and stuff. Silverado,
yeah.
Yeah, sure. He's fine,
I think he does a good job in like
Untouchables. I like JFK. I thought he was pretty good.
JFK. Yeah, he's done some things that are fine. They're fine.
I think deep down he's a better actor than Richard.
They all have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just shitting on Bill Murray because of Lost in Translation. I still cannot get over that story being something like it's the Gaga story of Hollywood. That's garb.
Open Range. I like.
Yes, I liked it. I liked him in Open Range, Gary. Absolutely. I'm a big Western guy. Yeah, I'm a big Western guy. So
that was a good one. That's a kind of an.
I would have liked it even more, Gary, if Dances with Wolves was 45 minutes shorter too. But I still like Dances with Wolves. But if it was shorter, I'd even like it that much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary, if you want to come up, we'll be glad to talk with you. If you want to come up on camera, if you don't have anything to do, it's your call. I'll put a link in the chat if you want to. If you're busy, you're busy. Gary can talk movies and music.
Gary and I have similar taste in music. Every time he says something, or I back for it, I find it's very similar to my taste. That's for sure.
Yeah, he can rock pretty hard.
Yeah, lean a little heavier. Yeah, we'll find that out. I have an off-screen question for you guys later about what's legal for 74 and 75 as we move along too. So,
one of my biggest feathers in my cap is turning Gary on to Jackson Browne because he didn't really listen to him until JT and I did a video on Jackson, and all of a sudden Gary was a fan. He went out and bought a couple
There's
albums.
Gary.
He went and saw him on concert too.
I think I have most of Jackson. I don't think I have Lawyers in Love. I have all the rest of the stuff.
I put the link down there, Gary, if you want to join us. We'd love to have you come up. The more the merrier, as to say.
Cool.
Why not? We can still promote our channel and talk with Gary. Why not?
Tyranno.
Hey, the shark. The shark is in the house. Yuri, right?
The shark is here.
Nice to see you.
That's right.
How's it going, Yuri? It's been a while, brother.
Yeah, it's been a while. The old RTTC days. Here's Gary. There he is, man.
Gary.
Hey, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Okay,
man.
I've got to look in the background here. You know I'm a big comic book buff, buddy.
Oh,
You know I'm always checking that stuff out.
Let me
You
get
got a docking record.
I get rid of the album there. I got my Wonder Woman lunchbox.
Oh, that's
Is
awesome.
that a docking in the way? That's a docking in the way to start.
Yeah, I moved docking. I've got food, superhero food in case I starve, and I got all kinds of junk back here.
Yeah, that's Chef Boyardee, man. Check that out.
I know. Isn't it awesome?
The Upside of Anger. Yeah, I saw that movie. How's it going, man?
Good.
Good.
How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, we're trying to promote our album series that we've been doing, and tonight was a good night to do it.
Yeah,
Just talk music, movies, whatever we want to talk about. It. We'll let the chat dictate. They have questions, they can fire them up.
it's kind of intimidating being up here with the smarty pants guys now.
Hardly.
Nah.
You guys start
when
you guys all get together and do your movie stuff, I'm always like, man, these guys are going over my head.
Well, we're big movie buffs, and we dove in pretty hard on that. I'm not as well versed on music, and that shows when I talk about it. But
well, that's not true.
I still like it.
I think, Rich, you definitely dominate like
the
the
heavy
60s
hitters.
and 70s, man. I can't keep up with you. When I start to hit my wheelhouse is when I'm a teenager. It is finally being in the 80s and in the 90s when I was a station manager. That'll be it.
The 60s and 70s is my favorite era for music, so I tend to focus on that, so I know a little bit more about that. The 80s, I started losing a little bit of touch. I started watching a ton of movies in the 80s. Like I went to the movies all the time. And I wasn't paying much attention to the music. And I lost my way a little bit. That's why I'm kind of naive on some of these Brit pop bands and new wave and stuff like that. I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
I was so tempted to make you do a double album for like 1981.
Yeah, don't do that to me, man. I'll have trouble coming up with 12 songs.
He would have. Do you know what? I guarantee Rich would have had like a Rush tune on his list. It would have been incredible. It would have been like, all right, this is great. You have no choice. You got to put a Rush song on.
I need to branch out and listen to more Rush because everybody else can't be wrong. Everybody loves Rush except me.
I love them, but
yeah.
Although they lost
talented band, man.
In the 80s.
They lost you when in the
80s, pretty much after Signals. I kind of
which album was Distant Early Warning on, Doc?
Oh, geez.
Right.
I was not a big fan. I was like Gary. I've had to go back.
That was either Grace Under Pressure or Hold Fire.
Yeah, that's probably when I stopped listening to Rush, guys.
Yeah,
that's right there.
Well,
that was a little too poppy.
I'll tell you,
there is some stuff. There is some songs past.
Yeah, there's always good songs here and there. But the sad thing for me about Rush is I only got to see him one time, and it was kind of like during this period right here that we're talking about. I got tickets to see him, and God, what's the album that? Power Windows. I don't like that album.
Power Windows.
It's just, it bores me. I know a lot of people love it, but when I saw him it was like, I think the album after that. So like they did a lot of stuff off of whatever the current album was, and a lot of stuff off of Power Windows. And I remember, man, they were just losing me during that concert because I want to hear all the earlier stuff, and the guitar itself, Alex Lifeson, it was just not that heavy sound, I mean, it was more wimpy sounding. I remember my buddy who was with me at the time, we were old school Rush fans, and he turns to me, he's like, "Hey man, look," and I didn't even know what song it was. They were doing Finding My Way. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even recognize it because the guitar sounds so wimpy.
Yeah. Hey, Alec, how you doing?
Really?
And then Geddy Lee did his little collaboration with the with Bob and Doug McKenzie, right, on Take Off. Remember that? Remember that song? Oh my God.
Yeah. Take off to the great white north. Take off.
Take off to the great white north.
Oh man, that was crazy.
I love Rush did Battle Scar with Max Webster. That's a great tune.
No, I'm not familiar with that one. So agree. Power of Windows isn't my favorite.
No.
Yeah.
I was watching Rod the Happy Hippie today, Gary, and he talked about Samantha Fish, one of your favorites.
Oh, he was okay. Well, I got him that out.
Oh.
And
there you go. Yeah,
he seems to really like it. So,
he likes it.
I haven't got to watch too many videos today. I've been at work all day and stuff. So
yeah, he did a contest for JT's Record Room, and that was one of the albums he showed.
Oh well, I got to check it out. I love Rod. He's
the best. Happy hippie.
Yeah, he's just genuine. I think that's what I like the most out of people on here. I mean, like you were talking, Rich. We don't always agree on music and everything, but I think we really like each other.
Yeah,
just because I mean, it's and I'm that same way with a couple other people.
Yeah.
That I might not always be into the same music, but there's always some common ground, and if I like the person, I like their channel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the way I am too.
Yeah.
Look at Aaron Mutha Alamere. We couldn't be further apart musically, but he's the greatest guy you'd ever want to meet. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
he really is. And there's a ton of guys out there, and Rod's one of those guys. Yep. What do we have here from Martin? Any 50s fans? Well, yeah, I like that kind of music because they were oldies when I grew up, and so I got to know a lot of that 50s music.
Yeah, most of the stuff that I've listened to is mostly jazz or blues, and I haven't really dived into too much. People told me, "Oh, you need to listen to more Frank Sinatra." I've listened to 2 albums in the wee small hours in September of my years, and I thought, well, that's probably as much as I would need to listen to. It seemed to be the best of his work anyway. I mean, and it seemed like he was putting out an album every 4 months for a span, and just didn't seem any point to go any further.
I like the 50s early rockers, those pioneers, the Buddy Hollies and the Little Richards and the Chuck Berrys and all those guys. Fats Domino. I like that music.
Yeah.
Everly Brothers, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I can't say I'd listen to it that much, but
no.
Every now and then you get in the mood for it. Or I think what's really cool is when you see old clips of it, on TV, and you see somebody like Jerry Lee Lewis just going crazy,
right?
And you're like, damn, this guy was doing this like in 1955. And, of course, mainstream
or something crazy.
Mainstream tried to get rid of all those guys. I mean, they didn't like that. I don't think middle America, a lot of this is crazy.
And 50s was very middle America when Ike was the president, and very conservative climate.
Right. Yeah.
So you couldn't get away with that until the late 60s when things started loosening up a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But by then it was a different music, and the Beatles had come and gone. I like that whole evolution of how things work in music.
Yeah.
Doo-wop, flamingos. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff.
So Randy says I should listen to Songs for Swinging Lovers by Sinatra.
Yeah, okay. Randy's probably right.
I'll check it out, Randy.
Yep.
There's another guy, Randy, that he's a lot of I'm kind of touch and go with some of his music choices, but I just think he's a great guy.
Right. Same here. Yeah, he has an extensive collection too. Some stuff that I've never even heard of.
Oh, he goes all over the place.
And he's got most of it on vinyl. I don't think I've ever seen him show a CD. He's got a lot of vinyl, man.
Yeah, he's got to have one hell of a collection, man, because he pulls stuff out all the time.
Yep. And Randy is one of these movie guys that only likes the stuff like the black and white stuff from the film noir from the 40s and 50s and stuff. That
really,
I like that too. But when we were
That's
doing our decade stuff, he admitted he hadn't seen a lot of that stuff. But great guy.
Yeah,
great channel. And he does Sports Beat with me
Yeah,
and Glenn
definitely,
Keller on
Randy.
Fridays.
yeah, he's definitely very well rounded.
And he was in our fantasy baseball draft last night too.
He does
Yep.
it all.
Just for the record.
Yeah.
So what do you, Gary? What do you and Jeff and the boys have planned for this?
But I do
weekend?
have the winning team.
Yeah, we know.
Actually, I'm sitting this one out.
Oh, are you?
I told him I'm not doing it this week.
Okay.
So, but I think they're going to do something to do with 90s bands.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's a good one to sit out.
I could jump in there. That's not
That's Brian's thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could probably do it.
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't even put away the records that I used from last week's show, and
yeah,
I think the wife wants to go out of town tomorrow or something. I'm just like, But then I saw you were going to do a live stream.
It's
you know
better
what?
that
Let's
way.
check this out.
yeah.
Sorry, I took 3 Cleveland Guardians on my fantasy team.
There you go, Gary. Yeah.
funny.
You don't follow baseball, do you, Gary, at all? Or no?
Yeah, I
Oh, you
like
do?
Cleveland. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Cool.
Yep. I don't know baseball like you do, but I like the Indians or the Guardians, and
I knew that I had to stay out of conversations with baseball with Rich when I told him about a guy I graduated with. His dad was drafted by the San Francisco Giants, Ed Goodson. And he told me, not only did he remember him, he told me what his batting average was.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what the hell? I mean, Ed Goodson only played like 5 years in the majors.
Yeah, he was a backup.
Yeah, and he's like our high school baseball coach back at our high school. And I was like, wow.
I remember him well.
I said, I'm out. I'm not getting in conversations.
I had a baseball card with Ed Goodson on it back in the early 70s. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, what I don't know how you can remember. I mean, I feel like there's certain eras of time that I can remember pretty good, but then there's like the more and more information that goes into my head, I start forgetting some of these details, and I forget some of the players' names and stuff. I used to know all that shit,
Yeah.
and then now I've lost. I do. You know what? I do it occasionally with bands now, especially if I get behind the camera here and I start trying to think of somebody's name, and I'm like, that one guy.
That means you're getting old like the rest of us, Gary.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I'm the same way. I forgot more stuff than I ever knew. I mean, it's crazy. It happens. But some stuff just sticks there. It happens to all of us.
Yeah. Certain things you never seem to forget.
It does.
Yeah. So any
things.
concerts?
That's true.
Let me ask Gary, any concerts lined up? I know you like to see live shows. What do you have in the offing?
So the next thing I have is Shine Down and the Pretty Reckless. And then the only other thing I have lined up so far is, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the Surfragettes, but they are a all-female surf guitar instrumental band out of Canada.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to see them in
I've heard the name. I don't know why.
Outside,
I don't know their music.
they sound kind of like the Ventures. That
I like
style.
the Ventures.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
the
that
Ventures.
kind of music just puts me in a good mood.
Sure.
Okay.
What's
Well, I had Foo Fighter tickets, and then that got nixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What a shame.
that was, my wife is crushed on that because she's an absolute, David Grohl, I don't know. she's just all over him. So I'm like, oh my God, tell her that wasn't going to happen. So
that's a shame.
I honestly thought they would grab someone just for the tour and finish Alpha Tour, but I guess they didn't want to even try. So
have they said anything like if they're going to keep going as a band?
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I think Grohl's taking it really, really, really hard.
Yeah, that topic came up today on Larry Graves's live stream, and they seem to be of the thought that they're going to be like Led Zeppelin, and once Bonham went, the band was done, and similar to what's going to happen with the Foo Fighters.
Wow.
But that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You know,
well, he was.
That sucks if it goes down.
He was the
that
big
way.
personality in that band.
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
I saw him on that Alanis Morissette documentary. He was her drummer back then, like 25 years ago or whatever it was.
Yep.
He had a lot of personality then. He was
That's
hopping. He was all over the place. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Those were some pretty crazy shows back then on that initial Jagged Little Pill tour.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Hey, there we go. Martin knows them.
Okay.
Surfer Jets are wonderful.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Well, I mean, they all wear like go-go boots, white go-go boots. So
I like it already.
Is that all they wear? I mean, I just got to clear.
I'm definitely
I'm in. I don't know what you guys are doing right now.
If that's
Why
all
are
they
we
got
sitting
on,
here talking?
Yeah. I'll be scouring the internet for photos. Christ. That's funny.
But they usually wear like those kind of like a one-piece mini skirt type thing that's kind of like usually something glittery, like a 60s. It looks like the 60s.
Yeah.
You know, that's the look they got going and the sound. So
Like the Nancy Sinatra, these boots are made for walking type deal, you know, when they're out there prancing around. That's cool.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So
with a description like that, Gary, I'll have to check them out.
yeah. Well, they've had some 45s out, and they got their first full-length album coming out next month.
Unbelievable.
On High Tide Records. I'll promote them.
Oh, really? Jeez.
So I don't think I had a chance to ask Gary. I know Doc and Brian's opinion. What about the Will Smith slap? Any comments on that?
I tell you what, Chris Rock, you gotta hand it to him. I mean, he handled it.
That's what I think.
Well,
too.
Yeah, sure.
He handled it very well. He saved the show, man.
Yeah, I
Big
think
time.
if it had been me,
I'd pop him back if he hits me like that. Yeah.
I said, you think you're gonna come up here and bitch slap me? You're wrong.
No. That showed a lot of discipline and a lot of poise on his part.
Yeah, he handled it very, very well. And I felt bad for him. It was so awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seemed out of character for Will Smith because he seemed like a really nice, kind of laid back kind of cat, and then all of a sudden he flipped. I think his wife gave him the whammy, like, you better get up there and do something, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, because he was laughing.
I know.
Yeah.
Martin's talking about Surfer Jet. Yeah, see?
He was.
Surf Rock. Yeah.
See, there's a whole lot of stuff I don't know.
Yeah, Will
about.
Smith was laughing, and then he looked at Jada, and I just think, they have their own troubles.
You're right.
And
Yes.
I think that's something he already had shit going on, and she gave him that look, and I think he was just like, okay, fine. I think he just lost his mind for a minute.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw like Saturday
Might
Night
ruin his
Live
career.
when they talked about it on the news portion of Saturday Night Live. Michael Che was hilarious about it. He said, trying to act like, like Chris Rock didn't know about whatever her condition was. What is it called?
Alopecia.
Alopecia.
He said that's like Kanye West saying, y'all guys are crazy if you don't know about my psoriasis. I mean, like that's the one thing that we would want to know about Kanye West. We already know he's crazy.
Yeah.
We don't care about psoriasis. You know, it's the same thing. It's like with all
Hey,
their
Tom.
all their dirty laundry out on the internet about her cheating and all that other stuff. You really think that that's the thing that Chris Rock, you know, doesn't know? You know?
I mean,
Tom Williams, check him out. Anybody out there that hasn't subscribed, great channel.
Yeah, he's
up and coming, a nice young man.
He's a smart guy.
He is. He has a good channel, and I hope it grows. Randy says, check out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's comments on the slap. I haven't heard Kareem's take on it yet.
I read it.
What did he say?
Yeah. What did he say, Doc?
Yeah, it was good.
Came down hard on him?
Basically, just, you know, more along the lines of, you know, it shines a really bad light on different things in the community outside everything else of what Will Smith did. So it's more than just the slap is the right way to say it. It encompasses a whole bunch of things, which isn't cool.
That's Kareem. He's a deep thinker.
Yeah.
You guys are way too kind. Thank you, Tom. We'll have to collaborate on something coming up. I enjoyed doing CCR with him on his channel.
So you guys, have you guys been watching Showtime with the Magic Johnson Lakers?
I haven't.
Thing? It's great. It's fantastic. John C. Reilly as Jerry Buss is fantastic.
I would like that. I like John C. Reilly.
Absolutely fantastic.
I like him.
Yeah, it's really good.
What's it on?
It's on HBO Max.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I have HBO.
I do too. I haven't seen it though. I like John C. Reilly. It always reminds me of Step Brothers with him and Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah, Step Brothers.
Classic stuff.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, it's good. It's worth checking out. And as you see the whole politics about drafting Magic Johnson and Jerry West, didn't even want to take him. You know, that's the whole conversation that they're talking about. He said he didn't want to take him at all, and
that would have been a mistake.
Boy, and Jerry West ended up, not even wanting to coach the Lakers anyway. You know.
Yeah.
But they showed a lot of weaknesses on a lot of people. They showed weaknesses of Jerry West, weaknesses of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That he wasn't. They said, right before Magic got there, he wasn't a very hard worker on the team.
He had that reputation.
He had that reputation of not running drills on, in practice and everything else. He's just getting by on his height, and he got called out. Got called out by the Rook. That's
Randy has a great question here for that TV show. Do they have a 7-foot actor to play Kareem?
I don't know. I don't know whether they're using camera tricks or not. He looks
CGI.
pretty tall.
They could do CGI and stretch somebody out.
Now, didn't they
CGI
kind of didn't they reference that, Brian, in the Airplane movie?
Yes, yeah, the little kid, right? Yeah,
they did. They were talking about all the other centers that work harder than Kareem or something.
Yeah, that little kid's talking to
that little kid. Yeah.
My dad says,
right.
You tell your old man to drag Jerome and Malton up and down the court for 48.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
That's exactly what he said. Yep.
I'll defend post players because I coach basketball, but post players have to run in line to in line. Guards only have to run 3-point line to 3-point line. So it's one thing to try to give post players shit for not running up and down the floor, but they got a longer distance to go over 48 minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And with more pushing and shoving and contact and things like that. So
and they're carrying a lot more weight in most cases.
Yeah.
Doing it on a bigger frame. It's rough. Here you go. Here's a good one-liner. They can use Tom Cruise to play Kareem.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All 5'6" of them.
Tom wants to do his own stuff. So he wants to be able to slam all on his own. He doesn't want no CGI.
Speaking of Tom Cruise, I watched for the 86th time the other night, Eyes Wide Shut. I can never get enough of that movie.
Why do you keep watching that?
Why do you watch that?
I love it. I love the movie. And every time it's on, I zone out and just look for different stuff. I got issues.
I actually like that movie too, really.
I really do.
I was just teasing you because I figured you're watching it because of the nudity or something.
No. I like the filmmaking style of it, and it's hypnotic in a way. It's like a dream or a fantasy, and just
it's weird
with bizarre stuff going on.
Yeah.
All those scenes in that house, that's just really odd. Have you guys, any of you seen, oh, shoot. Now I get, something 81. It's on Netflix.
81.
It's a series, but
I don't know it.
I don't know. It might appeal to you guys because
I don't know that
I
one.
feel like it takes. I don't know. When I watched it, it has to do with kind of like supernatural
Okay.
stuff. No, I can't think of what the first word is, but anyway, it's something 81, and it has to do with crossing dimensions and whatnot. But I don't know. When I watched it, I just felt like there were certain parts that had like, okay, this feels like Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
This feels like Val Lewton directed this part. I don't know. There's just different parts in it, that I felt like were referenced in it in that movie. And I'd just be curious if any of you guys saw it and what your opinion was. But
no, I'd like to know.
None of you have seen it. The movie guys haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it.
I just watched Coda this weekend with
How
my
was
wife.
it?
It's great. It deserved Best Picture, and because I've now seen all the films,
I have to see that.
It deserved Best Picture. That was hands down. It was good.
Yeah, the only one I've seen is The Power of the Dog. But
I thought that was going to win until I finally did see Coda, and I like Drive My Car maybe just a hair better than Power of the Dog.
I haven't seen West Side Story. I haven't seen the Nightmare Alley. Some of these other ones. Dune. I didn't see Dune. So I'm way behind.
Nightmare Alley.
How
think
was
is that the one at the carnival?
Yes.
Yeah. That
was with
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen.
Bradley
Did you guys
Cooper.
Like it? Yeah. Any good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll check good. It's not great.
Not great. Not Oscar worthy.
Not Oscar worthy.
No. Okay. I didn't even know it was up for that.
And Licorice Pizza is another one I haven't seen. That's a sleeper kind of film.
That's just a stupid title. I don't understand why people give movies such.
I saw that one.
Not a good one. Doc.
Take care, guys. Okay. Oh,
all right.
Awesome.
Thanks, Randy. Take care,
Licorice?
man. Mediocre.
Licorice.
The Licorice Pizza is a one watch for me.
A one watch. Okay.
So it's no.
I don't need to see it. It was fine. It was shot very nice, but that's it.
Yeah.
It's no Eyes Wide Shut. No, it's
Eyes
not.
Wide Shut. In one of my favorite
Eyes
movies.
Wide Shut more than I do.
It's no Lost in Translation, Doc. Right?
That's the one he hates. He hates that movie.
That's it.
I like
That's
it. I like that young star Scarlett Johansson chilling. Thumbs down. We got an overrated comment from Tom Williams. Licorice Pizza is overrated. Soundtrack was great though. Okay, that's fair.
I haven't seen. I'm starting to think that they.
Yeah, I'm starting to think they expanded the number of movies that get nominated now to try to appease some of these streaming services. It just feels like that's what's going on.
It's a glut of garbage for the most part.
I'd rather go back to just nominating 5 movies. That way, that it's the cream of the crop.
Right.
Come on, think about Pulp Fiction and Forrest Gump and Quiz Show and
Shawshank Redemption.
And 4 Weddings and a Funeral were all like nominees one year. All of them great movies. That's
fantastic.
Crazy.
The last movie you need to see is Godfather.
Wow, that's the best movie I've ever seen.
Godfather.
Which one do you like better, Godfather 1 or 2?
It's cutting hairs. I like 1, but I like 2 a lot too.
Yeah,
they're great. 1, then 2, and then 3, right in order.
Yeah, I love them both.
And I love Goodfellas is good too.
3 is like tying an anvil to a coyote and shoving him off the cliff. I mean, that really.
I don't mind it as much as most people. I think
you gotta love that analogy.
That's a hell of a statement there. Boom. The coyote. He's screaming all the way down, man.
Yeah. What do they call it? The Wilhelm scream or whatever.
It's like Roadrunner and Coyote. You see that coyote going over the cliff.
Yeah, I think you were right.
I don't know. I got to admit,
You
I've
were
only
right,
seen
Rich.
Godfather
You were right.
3 one time, so you know.
What was I right about?
I'd have to see it again to be able to kind of really talk about it.
What was I right about, Doc?
Godfather 1,
Yeah.
Godfather 2, and then Goodfellas.
Exactly. Here's a hot take. Mob movies. I like Godfather 3 better than The Irishman. How's that for a take?
Oh, okay. That's a take.
I didn't like The Irishman. I had a real problem with it. It was way too long.
Boogie Nights is your #1 favorite movie of all time, huh?
Wow. Well,
Wow.
he missed the 70s porn, the whole situation with Johnny Holmes and the whole 9 yards, and I mean 9 yards. Now that's a great movie, but there's a lot of character in the movie, a lot of nuance. The soundtrack's good too. They have that 70s music. It's great.
Yeah. Heather Graham is Roller Girls, great. Philip Seymour Hoffman's fantastic.
Fantastic.
It's a great.
Bill
great
Macy,
movie.
William Macy in that movie is the sniveling weasel.
Oh my
Husband.
God, I feel so
Burt
sorry
Reynolds
for
was
that girl.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Burt Reynolds was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg just laid it on the line, man. That's all there is.
You laid it all right.
Literally.
Great movie. And don't forget Julianne Moore as the actress.
That's
all
right.
great. Roller Girl was the best, though, no question.
Yeah.
My favorite movie is Marty from
Marty.
1955.
Yeah, that's going back. Ernie Borgnine.
Mine is North by Northwest. My favorite movie.
Mine is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are rock. I don't know if I can even name my favorite movie. That's so
tough.
hard.
I don't know if
It
I
is
could.
I can't name my favorite album.
yeah, right.
It's
That's
just
true.
I feel like whatever I say, I'm going to go, oh, but what about this?
Yeah.
I think it takes balls to say that. I can't do that.
I like Boogie Nights, though, Tom. It's a good favorite.
I always have a lot of explaining to do when I say it's my favorite.
Sure it
I
is.
bet you do.
I bet.
Great choice. Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
I think that was at
Hitchcock.
the top of all of our Hitchcock, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Rich,
I think it
I think we all three had that as a top.
I had
Hitchcock
Rear
movie.
Window. Rear Window was my second.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I
You
had
guys,
Vertigo.
you guys like Vertigo better.
was second for me, and
Yeah, you're big fans of Vertigo. I had it down on the list a little bit.
No, I had Rear Window and Psycho.
Psycho's up there.
Okay. Yeah.
I like Strangers on a Train too, another sleeper Hitchcock film. Like that movie.
It's a good one.
Great. Sure, it's a great flick.
Yeah. There's some good ones.
Now I'm just trying to at least think what my favorite Hitchcock would be. It would be one of those three. I mean, it's either North by Northwest, Rear Window, or Psycho.
Yeah.
I get. It probably depends on when you ask me.
How about the Birds? Were you not a
That's my
somebody's
top
not
three,
a-
Gary.
I love the Birds.
Yeah, I like the Birds.
I thought it would. Yeah, I think
I
I
like it.
barely put it in my top 10. I thought Birds was a little bit overrated.
No, I know, and I get it. I totally get why you would say that. To me, I think that's more of a sentimental thing because I remember seeing it when I was a little kid.
Yep.
They'd repeat it on TV, and I just remember that scene where Tippy's up in the attic and those birds come in. I remember that scared me as a little kid. And there's something about I just like the way that movie ends where you're like,
Yes.
what the hell happened? What's
Right.
going to happen?
And
What-
what's
you
going to
know,
happen?
They
Right.
never explain why the hell these birds are doing this. And you see them walking out with all these birds. And you're like, are they going to take over the world? What, I don't know. I always like, a lot of times movies like that drive me nuts when they end that way.
Yeah.
But I've always liked that. And I know I've watched that movie with other people and I tell them, oh, I really like it. And they're done. They're like, this is stupid.
No.
Of course, a lot of people don't like older movies either. So,
I think that was one of the first movies that left you with that ambiguous ending too. They used to try and tie all the happy endings up in those
Right.
old films.
Yeah.
This one let you up to your imagination. What's going to happen next? Where do we go from here? And that became more fashionable as films went on, into the decades after. A lot of directors always end their films that way. But
yeah, I don't know. There's scenes I like. That whole movie's that way.
There's
stuff that this underlying, feeling going on, or there's things never totally explained.
No.
And sometimes I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But I also get why you would say, Brian, you think it's overrated, and I couldn't argue with it. I'm just saying how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Why it means something to me, and like
it's a movie that
I like that better than I do Vertigo. So
if it was playing, if I went downstairs, my wife was watching it, I'd sit down and watch it with her. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a good Hitchcock movie. I did include it in my top 10.
Yeah.
I think maybe, just because it was part of the Bird trilogy that I figured because I had all three, I think, from the Bird trilogy in my top 10. But
I think that the sentimental part makes a big, because it was on TV every 6 months or so when I was a kid, and I would always tune in. It was like a happening, almost like the Wizard of Oz, except it was late night TV, and I would always get into it, and maybe that pegs it up a few notches.
Tom says Psycho is a very close second. Trouble with Harry.
I never liked The Trouble with Harry. That's a different kind of Hitchcock for me.
That movie is, I don't know, goofy or something.
It is. It's kind of quirky or something. Yeah.
I used to love Rear Window, but I studied it so much at university. Now I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I love that film. That's my second favorite after North by Northwest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how I had it. I can't remember if it was Rear Window and Psycho, or
I think it was in the top 5.
I think we all had North by Northwest. The three of us had it number 1.
Yeah.
And you guys might have had Vertigo second, and I think I had Rear Window second. It was something. Was it? Yeah.
What's funny
I did have Vertigo second.
As a kid, now that's one, North by Northwest, for some reason. I hated that movie when I was a kid. It just seemed dull. And then I watched it as an adult, and I'm like, oh, this movie's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a difference sometimes when you see it, what kind of mood you're in.
Yeah.
When you have a few years behind you and you can think of it differently.
Oh, did you say years or beers?
Eat both.
Oh, okay.
Both.
So North by Northwest. I mean, I have some favorite movies too. Like I like Best Years of Our Lives.
Great.
That would be in the top 10 for me.
Great.
I'm a big fan of The Last Emperor. A lot of people hate that movie. I like it.
It's good.
It's kind of odd. Blade Runner, surprisingly, that's in my top 10. I just think it's a wonderful sci-fi movie, very dystopian. Probably set that precedent about dystopian sci-fis. And I know you're not a big sci-fi though, Rich. So
no, I'm not. But it's to me, Alien was a good sci-fi film. I like that.
Yeah,
because it's a haunted house.
Fantastic.
It's got the horror and the sci-fi rolled into one. Yeah.
I love Alien. Yeah. What did any of you guys? I'm curious. You movie buff guys. Did any of you see the latest Batman?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it a lot. I was talking to these guys about it. I've told them. I said it's not a superhero movie. It's like a film noir detective movie.
That's what I said to Rich because I talked about it and he was commenting, and I said, I know you don't like the superhero movies. I said, but I think this would be one you might like, because it's not like all those Marvel superhero movies. There's no aliens, and they don't feel like they have to tie every movie into every other movie. It's just stands out on its own. Right.
And it's dark and gritty, and it's grounded. It's like there's no superpowers that bails out the hero, none of that stuff. It's Batman gets into a fight with 5 guys, the next morning he's got bruises up and down his back and and he feels like shit until he's popping Tylenol like crazy. I mean, that's real. It's grounded in reality.
Tom saw it too. How about you, Doc? Have you seen it yet, the Batman?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I can't say I haven't. It's right up my alley too.
I know. I will see it eventually when it probably comes to TV or one of the streaming services.
It's the first movie I've went to the theater to see in quite a while. I will say that.
I'm interested, Gary. Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Tarantino film?
No.
That is one you need to check out if you get a chance. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think we talked about it, so yeah.
There's tons of movies I need to see, man. That's the thing, when you guys were doing your movie things all the time, I'd be like, man, I have never seen that movie. I've never seen that one, you know.
Yeah.
There's like lots of
that was fun. I missed that movie stuff, but
If I recall,
Oh, no.
Gary, you liked my pick for The Natural.
Oh yes.
yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember him saying.
I love The Natural. I know it's long and it's slow, but to me that's the charm of the movie. That goes along with the charm of baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball is a slow moving game compared to other things. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm a fan of Robert Redford movies. I consider them like if like Bruce Springsteen's like the Americana artist of music, I think Redford is the Americana guy for film. His movies are all grounded in American mythos, and it's great. I love his stuff.
Yeah.
River runs through it.
Yeah, good one.
It's all good stuff.
Great movie. Tom, you're right on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love it. Got a negative buzz at the time, but it's a modern. Yeah, it is. And the more you see it, the more you appreciate it. It's really well made and got some classic scenes.
Is that a period piece?
Yeah, late '60s, set in what?
Yeah.
What's like Laurel Canyon in the 1969 with the Mansons around the corner and.
Oh Lord!
Yeah. But it's like
it's
like an alternate reality, though. It's a
yeah. It is an altered reality, but it's two guys, Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio, who are one's an actor, one's a stuntman, and their exploits. They run into Sharon Tate, who you think's going to get murdered, and I don't want to give it away, but it's great.
Yeah, the fight between Brad Pitt and Bruce Lee. That's
the best part of the movie. Fantastic,
absolutely hilarious. Laugh my ass off.
Likes it. He's seen it 6 times.
Yeah, I'm about the same.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the way I am with Monty Python's Search for the Holy Grail. That's one of those movies I've watched plenty of times.
Oh yeah.
That came up today on Larry Graves.
Also made my list, Gary.
Yeah, right. A lot of people love that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
That's a movie where it seems like when a group of guys get together, somebody starts quoting a line from it or whatever, and you can kind of like if you're with a group of guys and none of them know any lines from that movie, you're like, I got to get out of this group, man.
Yeah.
These are not my people.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's funny. Yeah. And Gary, didn't you tell me that Shawshank?
What's your favorite color?
The Shawshank Redemption location's right around the corner from you, or nearby, or something.
It's about an hour away.
Yeah,
it's up in Mansfield.
Yeah, I thought it was in Maine, but it's in Ohio. It's cool.
Right, it was filmed in Ohio. Right.
Yeah, it's the old prison. Of course, they have the new prison just right down the road there. Yeah. Where I used to work. I used to work at a structural and miscellaneous steel fabrication plant, and when we were involved in building the new prison up there, and so like I used to have to go up there a few times and do some field measuring and stuff, and you could always see the old prison in the distance, and it's like, God, man, that place looks like a castle or something.
Yeah.
Now, of course, now you can take tours of it.
Oh, okay.
And I went there just a few years ago, and they have it set up there, so you can. They've got like Shawshank stuff and memorabilia and everything, and they here's where this scene was filmed.
Cool.
They sell Rita Hayworth posters.
No, I don't think they do.
Do they have that bird that you can feed with a worm or something?
No, just Raquel Welch.
Yeah, right. Martin Branch says, "The Man Who Knew Too Much." Yeah, there's two versions of that. The one with Doris Day, and there's a black and white version from like 1934. They're okay movies. I saw the one with Doris Day not too long ago. It holds up pretty well.
I can't even think of that one. But
Yeah.
Doris Day.
It's a good
I'm
movie.
trying to think. Who was the lead? Was it Cary Grant in Doris Day? Or was it Rock Hudson? I think it's Cary Grant.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up if you can.
Yeah, I think it is Cary Grant.
I think it is too, but something. Let me look it up. Curiosity. Shit, I can't even
I
I
operate.
want to see if Martin tells us before.
The Man Who Knew Too Much, 1956.
You got to ask like you're Cary Grant,
The
though.
Man Who Knew Too Much is a 1956 movie directed by
James Stewart. I'm way off.
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart.
Oh,
I'm losing my touch. That's
Jimmy.
what Gary was talking about before. I'm starting to
They're
think.
coming
you
down the
go.
stairs.
You got
It's
to talk
Jimmy
like Cary
Stewart.
Grant, though. You got to be like, Alexa, show me the movie cast for a man who knew too much.
That's the guy.
that's pretty good.
He does a good impression there.
Yeah.
Can you do Chris Walken? Because I'd like to hear that.
Oh, no,
See, Martin knew it. He knew it was James.
Yeah, it was Jimmy.
yeah.
Oh man, I'm fading.
You know, do you
There
ever,
we go.
you guys, I'm sure you guys do this. Do you ever go back and watch a movie that you liked, you thought was really something when you were young, and now you watch it and you're like, yeah, this is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That,
yeah.
that happens with a lot of comedies. I found is that
Sure.
you
That's where
remember
I'm at.
them.
It
You remember
does.
them as a teenager. You're going, that was hilarious, and then I watch them now in my 50s, going, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
You know, the one that stands out to me is Ghostbusters. I liked it the first time I saw it, and now I go back. I watched it. I said, "Oh my god, this is insane," and did not like it. But
I like Ghostbusters, but
That movie does not stand the test of time.
No,
It
I think
doesn't.
it's overrated.
It is.
Yeah.
The way
Big
that
time.
people hold that so dear. I think maybe it's from people that were like younger than us when it came out,
yeah,
kind of thing. You know, like maybe if you were 10
Mhm.
when that movie came out, then it, you know, and you bought the Ghostbuster toys or whatever, it means more to you. But to me, it's just it's an okay movie. You know, it's nothing that great. But
Nothing to write home
Party.
about.
The
This
party.
is
That's the one
stupid,
with
The
Peter
Party.
Sellers. Yeah, Peter Sellers goes to a party. That's the whole movie. I didn't care for it. It's kind of slow. It's supposed to be a comedy too. Late 60s.
no.
The
I
other
watched-
one,
There's some funny
other one-
scenes in that movie, mind you.
it's okay. The one that stands out is the most overrated, and I know Doc and Brian are going to get on my case on this. I'm not sure how Gary feels about it, but I absolutely hate the movie, and that's The Matrix.
I mean, I'm not that crazy about it, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's good, but you know, nothing that great.
Yeah, but a lot of people are Matrix aficionados, and
I know.
that's one of their all-time favorite movies. And
Well, it can only be so good because it has Keanu Reeves in it, so
yeah, right.
he can't act.
Take care, Tom. Thanks for checking us out.
See you, Tom.
Appreciate it.
See you,
Yeah,
Tom.
he's 5
Hey,
hours
Tom.
later. It's like 2:30 in the morning, or wherever he's at.
Oh wow.
1 o'clock in the morning, maybe.
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
Yep. Anyway,
I'll stick with The Matrix as being very entertaining. That's what I'm going to
Okay.
stick with.
Yeah.
it must
It's
be.
entertaining. Yeah, it's entertaining. But I also think the whole, you know, a big part of it was the effects at the time.
Oh yeah,
Now,
sure.
And then everybody copied the effects
yeah,
ad nauseum.
yeah.
You
And
know?
the fact
Copied
that
it.
it's been done as a parody so many
Yeah.
times, it kind of, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
messes it up.
Diminishes it a little.
Yeah.
I just recently watched from a movie from 1982 that I saw when I was in high school that I thought was really cool, and it was the remake of The Cat People.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Nastasia Kinski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes, she looks. I'm not saying she doesn't look good, but the
Yeah.
movie itself has some pretty. I don't know. Some
Great,
of the
great
acting,
song by Bowie, though, right? I mean, that's-
Yeah, Bowie song.
bad. But I prefer the
Bowie?
original the Cat People movie.
yeah, the original.
Yeah, from
That
like,
was
what,
good.
43?
Yeah, it surprised me when I first saw that. I'd seen the original or the remake first in '82, And then about 10 years ago, I finally caught up and saw that one from the 40s. And I like the 40s one better, too.
Yeah.
I forget the name, the Simon or something. The girl was in it. I think that's her name.
Yeah.
French actress. I like the Stasia Kinski, though. She was prime back then.
Yeah.
The movie has some holes.
Yeah. It's not that I didn't think it was still good.
Yeah.
But just, I don't know. It seemed like I remember when I saw it at the time, I thought, wow, this is really cool, and everything. But now it's like, first of all, that whole incest thing kind of like, now when I watch it, I'm like, yeah, that's weird. But
yeah,
I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why they have to do that, but I don't know.
Was that the one where Ed Begley lost his arm or something? He gets
yeah.
It's been a while since I saw it. Pretty graphic. Here's a American Graffiti, great movie. Yeah, I have to agree. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's got Richard Dreyfuss in it. That pulls it down.
What is it with Richard Dreyfuss and you guys? You just hate
I
him?
like him.
This guy, Richard
Brian
Dreyfuss, is such a pain in the ass. It's just terrible. His acting is horrible.
Oh, I like him.
Horrible. I've semi liked him in Goodbye Girl, and I've
He
not
was
liked
good
him
in
in
that.
anything else.
don't like him in
Not since he
Close-
made a mountain out of mashed potatoes. I don't really
See,
give a shit about anything.
I like him in Close
Oh,
Encounters.
come on. No, don't put down that movie.
That's a great one. Nobody else could do mashed potatoes like Dreyfuss. Come on.
Yeah.
He had it down.
Growing up, my dad only took me to 2 movies that I can ever remember, and that was one of them.
That's a good one. On the big screen, it was great too.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I like him in Jaws.
I love Jaws.
I haven't seen What About Bob because of that.
Sure.
That's a funny movie.
So,
I need to see it again. I didn't like it the first time. That's Bill Murray and Dreyfuss, right?
Right.
What a combo. It's got both your most hated actors in it. All we need is Keanu. Nick Cage. I'm in.
Lost in the Matrix.
Yeah. Awful.
Whatever happened to Nicolas Cage? I mean, why did he like lose all his money or something?
I'm not
because
sure.
like, why does he's in like 10 movies a year that just are straight to video.
Right.
He's in like the dumbest movies, man. I mean,
Yeah.
he was like an A-list actor.
They were talking about Seth Rogen was saying that they were putting together a movie, and it was the Green Hornet. That's the movie. When they were putting together the Green Hornet, he said Nicolas Cage wanted to be the villain in that movie, and he kept calling up Seth and kept meeting with him, pitching these ideas about some crazy villain, and Seth Rogen just kept thinking, is this guy high? I mean, Seth Rogen's asking if this guy is high. He said, I can't sell this movie. He said, Nick, it's not going to work. What are you doing?
Well, Seth Rogen as Green Hornet, that was ridiculous.
That was terrible. It's a terrible movie. But
bad casting.
Yeah. Nick Cage would have made it worse at the time.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last Cage movie I actually liked. It's been like 20 years. It's terrible.
It's been a long time.
You know?
Con Air? I don't know.
Maybe. Unbelievable. Anything else?
What's your guys' favorite scene from Jaws? From Jaws.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. That look on the sheriff's face when he whips back around after seeing the damn shark's head coming out of the water. When he looks back, that petrified look, that's priceless. That is a priceless scene right there.
Doc, you have a favorite?
From Jaws?
From Jaws.
I think the scene that, visually, what I like, that stands out to me is just Snyder sitting on the beach, just focuses in and comes right up to him when he's sitting on the beach, when the shark is being yelled at in on it, and it just zooms in on Snyder sitting on the beach when he's sitting on the chair. If you recall that scene,
Yeah.
It's just the way that Spielberg shot it that stands out to me. It's like almost like everything blurs in the background. It just focuses in on Roy Schneider there, right on the beach, and I think it just stands out as a scene. Like, this is a real thing to him at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great scene.
The scene that stands out to me, although they're all great, is the opening scene with the girl in the water taken down, and with the music coming, and it's a quiet scene. It starts out quiet, and because the first time you see it, you don't know really what's going to happen other than the title, and you figure something's going to happen. But just the experience of being alone in the water and going under like that, it kind of freaks you out, and it sets the tone for the rest of the movie. So that's the one I would pick. What about Gary? What about you?
One of my favorite scene is when the three of them they've already seen the shark, so they know how freaking huge it is and everything. And that night when they're in the boat and they're all sitting around drinking, and they're all of a sudden they're coming together and they start talking about their scars.
And that's what Martin's got.
Yep. See, Martin. They start comparing their scars, and they're all laughing and everything. And then all of a sudden they get to the old guy that it's his boat, and he has that scar from he was on that ship, which was sunk at the end of World War II. And they remember that's a true story. They had sent out a distress signal or something. Nobody got it yet. And those guys were all sitting in the water for days, and sharks were coming up and getting those guys. Yeah. I mean, they're all just floating, and every now and then a shark would come up, bite one of them. I mean, it killed, I don't know how many guys they lost, but the way that they do that scene, and they have a little bit of jocularity there going on, and then all of a sudden it comes back to the fact, and you see that guy, why he has been hunting sharks.
Right.
I mean, and it also, gives you this foreboding sense of the end of this movie. Because, now we know what happens to this guy. He escaped that at the end of World War II, but, the sharks are still going to get him. And he talks about how when they come up and he goes, and those black eyes just roll back and, everything. And that story, and the other two guys are just
takes the air. It takes the air completely out of the room.
Yeah, that's to me.
Powerful.
I don't know. That's just such a badass scene, and it just sets it for what's coming up. You just had this little bit of time there, where everything was light, but then it just goes dark again, and it's like, get ready, and then all of a sudden, boom, the shark hits the boat. The water starts coming in and everything, and it's just, I don't know. To me, that scene is just excellent.
That's a good choice. I forgot about that scene. Yeah, that's a good one. Wow.
Fantastic scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I can talk about movies a little bit.
You can. You just got to see it first. That's all. You got to.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
I'm not up to your guys' level. I definitely can't. I can't do it like Brian does. But
you still got to get time to catch up. I'd like to hear your take on some of the ones you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Be cool. Because to get to that point, you have to see a lot of garbage. I've seen so many bad movies. You have to watch 150 movies a year. You're going to run into like 80 that suck, at least.
So,
the bad thing about watching movies now is like trying to find something that my wife wants to watch with me.
That's
tough.
It's a challenge.
So if I try to wait till after she goes to bed to watch a movie, then by that time I have a hard time staying awake myself. So.
Yeah. Yep.
What would be considered? What would you guys think is like one of your favorite scenes from a movie? Period. I mean, I think like one that comes to mind that when somebody hasn't seen this movie, I tell them about this scene, and this is usually what will make them go see it is the eggplant scene between Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken in True Romance. I said that is some of the best acting that I've ever seen ever. Incredible. Between two powerhouse guys. And it's so tense. The scene is so tense and so real. you know, and yeah, I said you got to watch it just for that scene, just to say you've seen it.
What's my favorite scene in a movie? That's up there. Oh man, I there's so many scenes in the movies I like No
Favorite
Country for Old
scene in a
Men.
movie.
Like No Country and Fargo have so many. Every scene's
Yeah.
great. It's hard to pick one out. Same
No
with Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, same with Pulp Fiction.
That's impossible.
Yeah,
That's
it is impossible.
Reservoir Dogs. That can go on. We can talk for
come on.
hours here.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Reservoir
Yeah.
Dogs. You know,
That's
when Michael
hard,
Madsen's dancing around and all that stuff.
And that slow pan up to the doorway where it says "Watch your head" while he's cutting that guy's ear off. I mean, that's great. That's great filmmaking right there.
Yeah,
it's great
there's
stuff.
so much.
I like the whole horse head scene.
Inglorious Bastards
Yeah.
in the scene downstairs.
That's a classic too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and everything that leads up to that. You know, like when they first go out and talk to the director.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he's not going to be intimidated. You know. Okay.
How about some of those Apocalypse Now scenes, man? Just for visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That helicopter scene and
the opening scene. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And the deer hunter. How about the tension in that? You know.
Yeah.
The
Russian roulette.
Empire of the Sun.
Empire of the Sun's a great movie, underrated movie. How about the mashed potato scene in Closing County?
Yes.
Terrible. Terrible.
That's awful, but
I like
try to keep it lively
in the Unforgiven when Clint Eastwood's character is leaving the town. It's rain.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, he goes, you know, you guys better not be cutting up any more whores.
That's right.
And you better give my friend Ned a proper burial, or I'm gonna come back and kill all you sons of bitches.
That's right.
And there's that guy. There's those two. That one guy has a clear shot at him, and he just puts the gun down. You know, just because of the whole fear. You know.
Yeah.
How about the 20-minute opening of Saving Private Ryan? You want to get down and dirty?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Totally.
That's a crazy
just
scene.
to think how they staged that and recreated it and made it so real. It's unbelievable. And they took you to the beach on that particular day and showed it to you. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
You're in it.
You know, you were in it. And there's a part where somebody's body part hits the camera. I mean, it's like brain matter or something. You're there.
Yeah.
Just tough to stomach.
Well, and you know what? That's that's kind of how I feel about some of those movies like that. It's like, I'm not saying that they're not. I mean, they are amazing scenes, but it's like, I don't know if I want to watch it. You know, it's not like something I want to watch again. The whole, you know, I know you guys are all fans of Quentin Tarantino, but you know, I don't like the way he does some of the violence in his scene in his movies, where he does like this torture kind of stuff in his movies, and I don't know. It's just
like that back room scene in Pulp Fiction with the.
I don't like watching some of that stuff in a way. I mean, I it's not that I don't like violence in movies, but I don't know the way they do.
Yeah, my wife thought the crazy 88 scene in Kill Bill was way over the top.
Oh, it was.
Where she battles those the crazy 88s, and I mean, it's just crazy, you know, blood scene for a good 15 minutes.
That's crazy. The one Tarantino movie I can't rewatch is because of that scene. I like most of the movie, but I just don't want to sit through that scene again.
Yeah.
With the the sword fighting and stuff. It's too graphic.
Yeah.
There's a great movie, The Apartment by Jack Lemmon.
That's the way I am with horror movies. I love horror movies, but I don't like what I call torture porn. You know, where they had these movies that they were, you know, they did a lot of them in the Hostel movies, things like that, where you just see these people tortured, and I hate that shit.
Yeah. I haven't seen any Saw. I haven't seen any Saws, Gary. I've never watched any of those Saw movies.
I have no desire to. I'm the same way. Yeah.
No. But getting back to Tarantino for a minute, Jackie Brown is a movie that doesn't have a lot of graphic violence. It's more of a storytelling kind of film.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't seen that, I would check it out. Jackie Brown. Great cast, too.
And that's Pam Grier, right?
Pam Grier, Robert De Niro, Forster,
yeah.
Michael Keaton's in it.
It's great.
Sam Jackson is great in it. Fantastic.
The Fonda girl is in it, right? Bridget
Fonda, yeah. Really good casting.
Younger Bridget Fonda, I'm assuming.
Younger. And she's a hot smoking surfer girl in that movie. It's really cool.
Yeah. Robert De Niro seemed to like her.
Yeah.
Just
they had a quickie. They had a 30-second quickie. I was afraid Doc was going to go out. He hasn't been in sync here. I think he needs to log back in. We lost him.
He disappeared.
Yeah. I noticed a lot of times he was talking and it wasn't moving. I think his signal was bad.
Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't always hear what he would say. It was like he was delayed or something.
Yeah, it was some kind of delay. So do we want to call it a night or you guys want to?
Well, I definitely got to hit the hay. I go to work early, as you know, and tomorrow is our my team's we call it the university run. Instead of having practice, we get together and we go for it's like a 2-mile run to the university, and then we meet there and have bananas and Gatorade, and we run back and that's our day. Yeah. And even me as a 53-year-old, I gotta get out there and try to keep up with the Bucks.
Yeah. Damn, I'm impressed.
My knees are not impressed. I'll tell you that. There'll be lots of ibuprofen in my future.
Yeah.
Running is something I just can't do anymore.
I hear that.
All right.
It used to come real easy, but it's harder now. So
no running.
The Apartment, Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Martin's can talk movies. I don't know where Doc went. He tried to come back and he.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
I can hear him.
I can talk movies.
Doc, are you there? I can't see you. Your visual is not there.
I can see you guys.
Wow. Okay. We can't see you.
We can't see you at all. It's like a black screen. I don't know what happened. That's weird. There you go. That was a figurehead.
Getting better. But anyway, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. I'll catch you guys another time, okay?
Nice talking to you.
Hey, nice to see you, Gary.
Take care.
Sounds good.
For a few, or you want to hang or bail?
I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
I'm trying to get Doc back in here. So what else is up? What have you been listening to?
It's weird. I'm seeing you guys, but you guys can't see me.
I can't see you at all.
I love the fact that we can hear you clear as day. You could really screw with this. I mean, he's like a ghost.
He's like Claude Rains in The Invisible Man.
That's a good movie.
I really can.
The original Invisible Man.
I think he just flipped me the finger, as I recall, but I can't see it. Yeah.
I swear to God, Rich, as far as you know, I didn't.
I don't know what's going on. I noticed before, though, you were like frozen, and now it's completely blank. So I don't know
it was
whether
cutting in and out on me, brother. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Is it a wire problem?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I can hear you better now than when you.
Oh yeah, the audio is excellent now. It wasn't so good before.
Yeah.
That's weird how we started out with
it's odd. I was cutting in and out, so it's weird. I can see you guys.
You can see us. I'm sorry that you can see us. But...
I can see you guys.
Well, let me ask Claude Rains, who was your favorite co-star?
I used it over the last 45 minutes away.
Yeah. It's still not on. Oh man.
Claude, can you hear us?
Claude, who was your favorite?
Who's that voice talking to me? It's God. I'm God.
Wow, look how it goes to his head.
A little bit of power. Bang.
Jeez.
There you go. Now you're back.
Ah. Now watch. We won't be able to hear.
There you go.
Are you
Yeah.
better?
I was God for a moment, eh? So,
Now you're just a mere mortal.
What's up, JJ?
there you go.
JJ. 22 explosive hits from
22.
K-Tail.
That's right.
Hey,
JJ was
JJ.
in our draft too last night. We had JJ on with our baseball draft. That was cool.
That's right.
Randy, JJ, Glenn Kellaway, myself,
Yeah.
and a guy named Caleb who's not here tonight, a fan or a chat guy. Hey, Doc, why
That's right.
Doc? Why not?
Why, Doc?
Doc, why, Doc?
We were talking movies for the better part of the last hour, really.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What's up, Doc?
The last thing I listened to was Regatta de Blanc by The Police.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Just listened to that last night.
The Police are underrated band. I mean, they take their fair crap, but I think they're solid. Every album there's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just completed my collection on vinyl. I just got that out, a used copy of it the other day. So now I got all 5 of their studio albums.
Nice.
A record store, a little record store, actually opened up in my town, which I haven't. I live out in the country, about 6 or 7 miles out of town.
Yeah.
But the town itself is a pretty small town, so the fact that they opened up a record store is kind of amazing. Guy doesn't really have his shit together yet, but
yeah.
I recommend the new Sam Jackson series, The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray.
I don't know what that is. What is that on, JJ?
I don't know that one.
Is that a streaming service or
Also the Lakers series?
the Lakers series? I've heard good things about. That was brought up earlier.
Yeah, Brian was talking about that.
Brian was talking about that.
Brian
yeah.
brought that.
That was the one where they were talking about Kareem and other things.
Yeah, that's right.
Huh.
Sorry,
What about
Gary,
you,
what was
Rich?
the last thing that you listened to?
The Police, Regatta de Blanc.
The Police, eh?
Yeah.
What about you?
Apple TV. See, I don't get Apple TV. That's one of the networks I don't get. So I won't be able to see that.
The last
Well, you
one I
got-
listened to, Gary, was I revisited. I don't know why. I listened to Keen, Cause and Effect.
Keen? I don't think
Yeah.
I know that.
I don't know that either.
You know a couple songs from them.
Okay.
Somewhere Only We Know was a big song from them.
What
a
time
slower
period are we
song.
talking?
I bet you Somewhere Only We Know is maybe 10, 15 years ago. But the Cause and Effect is in the last 3 years or so.
Oh, okay.
Just a different sound for me. I checked it out. Wasn't bad.
You
What's
too.
that?
How to
Guy's
build
got
an
a great
atomic
voice.
bomb. Listening to the Night Shift soundtrack. I remember Night Shift. A pretty funny movie of Michael Keaton and Henry
Pretty funny.
Winkler.
Sure.
Yeah. 82. Another
That's right.
1982.
And Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
The last CD I've listened to is the Dirty Knobs initial album here. I really like it. That's
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
Campbell of the
I don't
Heartbreakers.
have that, but I know it'd be one I would like.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. Bluesy rock, sort of Tom
Yeah.
Petty-ish. It's got a song here. I'm going to use bad language, but it's got a song here I really like called "Fuck That Guy." Really good. Check it out.
Sounds deep.
It's very deep, and his whole delivery, the way he says it, is awesome. He's listing the attributes that he doesn't like, and then he goes like, "Fuck that guy." It just,
Now, I wonder what kind of music is on the Night Shift soundtrack.
yeah, that's a good point.
It was the debut.
Yeah,
of
that's a good
That's
one.
What Friends Are For. Sung by Rod
Oh.
Stewart. Wait a minute,
Sung
I thought
by
that
Rod
was Dionne
Stewart.
Warwick.
I thought it was Dionne Warwick too. Yeah.
Is that the same song? That's a horrible song.
Telling it like it is, baby.
Yeah, really, eh?
We don't have filters on this channel. You just come right out with it.
No.
Tracy and Hepburn movies.
Yeah, they're fine for their time. I enjoy them too. Spencer Tracy was an incredible actor, so realistic. Didn't even look like he was acting, and Hepburn did her thing. I enjoy those movies.
Yes,
It
it's the
was
same song. It was played during the end credit. Well, I'm sure Rod Stewart does a better job.
Played during the end credits.
Yeah,
I'm sure he does.
Dion had anything on Rod, but you don't know.
No, probably not.
I'm not a huge Dionne Warwick fan. I don't want to disparage the woman, but it's not
just in case she's watching.
Yeah, Dionne, if you're out there, God bless.
Yeah.
Rod, come on the show.
Yeah. I am watching the 1979 World Series to get psyched for the season.
Pirates, Orioles. That's a hell of a series. 7-gamer. Yep.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Should just watch the 92 series, JJ.
1980, baby. Phillies.
You know, I remember for some reason that
Hey, I was nice, Rich. I told him not to watch 93.
That I remember I was a freshman playing football, and because everybody was talking, the World Series was going on, like around that time, and I was actually playing on the line, believe it or not. I was the smallest lineman that we had.
Is this in 79 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing I could do was try to be fast.
82 Brewers. I remember that team. Yeah. There you go. Barry Gibb wrote Dion's biggest hits.
Barry Gibb wrote a lot of people's hits.
I like the Bee Gees. I'm a closet Bee Gee fan. I like the early Bee Gees and I like the disco Bee Gees. I like the whole gamut.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really do.
Bee Gees are.
Edward,
hello.
What's up? How you doing? Big Red Machine. Well, that was probably the best team in my lifetime as far as offense.
My favorite DVD set is the Bears Super Bowl season.
OJ
is a broadcaster.
Yeah. Yep. Are you guys too young to remember OJ as a football player? Because he was a fantastic football player. I mean, in truth.
Great football player.
Great.
Yeah, I remember him. Not much. But
yeah, he was like the man.
I'm the same.
What a way to piss away your life. Hey, Edward. There you go.
Yeah. That's back when running backs were a really big deal.
Yeah. Were you like glued to the TV when he was getting away on the Bronco and all that stuff, like the rest of the nation? Or
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was wild.
Yeah.
Totally.
I remember my wife and I watching it, and we're like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen?"
Yeah.
You know what's funny is, like, do you remember when they first started saying this? You were like, "No way, O.J. Simpson did that."
Right. I know.
It's the juice.
It was like during Larry
the
King
juice.
Live, and Larry King was interviewing different people, and they're trying to anticipate where he's going, what exit he's on the freeway, and it was like a real happen. Super Bowl shuffle, yeah. Remember that?
Oh, he's got the vinyl of it even.
Yeah, the vinyl.
Watch the O.J. gain yards record.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, eh?
He lost his luster though. One bad night. Unbelievable. Whatever happened to Cato Kalin? That's what I
sure did.
Where's Cato?
Yeah, I've been wondering about that.
I mean, he's got to be out there somewhere. What's he doing?
Oh, he's out there somewhere signing an autograph for somebody. He's in a mall somewhere.
He stayed out.
Cato doesn't know where Cato is.
I know he's trying to watch the NBA Finals, and the damn OJ thing was on.
Yeah. That's right. They would have the game on, and then in the upper corner, you have the chase with OJ. It was like they couldn't miss. Then they had Al Michaels on. He's talking about, he knows the city. He was talking about where he was going, and oh man, what a mess. It's almost 30 years
Yeah.
ago. That's how time flies.
Wow.
Happened in 94, I think. It's like 28 years ago. Wow.
Oh my.
Yeah, I was just listening to the radio the other day, and the guy was talking about how he has a friend who lives out in Vegas, and he said that, you know, OJ, when he's, you know, he's hanging out there all the time and stuff, he said he constantly has young girls come trying to get with him and stuff.
Jesus.
It's like, God.
Unbelievable.
All over.
The best thing.
Jeez.
Peter Jennings with the Howard prank. See, I don't know that. What is the best one ever? Was the guy who called?
Oh,
Peter Jennings.
shit. I'm trying. Yeah, what was that?
Did I miss that one?
I can't remember what.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Peter Jennings and the Howard Stern prank. I used to be a Howard Stern big fan in the old days, but I got away from it. November 25th, 76. I'm so old. What's the significance of that date? Am I missing something there? 76. Oh, he's going to be 76 on November 25th. Is that what I'm getting?
Is that what that means?
I guess.
What do you mean, Mark?
Oh, maybe.
Well, you got me by 11 years.
Way to go.
Wait, did you say way to go?
Way to go. Congrats.
Way to go.
Hey, every year's a blessing, right? You tack them on.
That's right.
There was a guy who called Peter Jennings and said that he was on the scene
right.
and said Baba Booey. Okay, I
Oh,
remember
okay.
it now. Baba Booey. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. That's classic. Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Al Michaels had to tell Peter it was a prank. That's good too. Lighten up, Peter. It's a prank. Oh boy.
Oh my.
Crazy
Oh,
shit.
man.
Unbelievable.
So we're gonna jump it down there, Rich, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we should get off. We went for an hour and a half, so it was fun.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah.
Time flies. I could do this all night, but then I'd hear about it in the
That's
other
good.
room. So
It's nice actually meeting you, Gary.
Yes, you too, Doc. Finally, yeah.
thanks for coming on with us, Gary. Appreciate that. We had
Thanks,
a
buddy.
nice little conversation. I enjoyed it a
Yeah,
lot.
very cool.
Yeah, me too. This was great. It worked out well. My wife had already went off the other room, and I saw that you were gonna. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch that thing that he's doing." I saw the little whatever it is, the little calendar reminder thing.
Yeah.
You put up, and because like I normally I don't know when you're gonna go on live for sure.
I started putting these little notices up so people that are interested could at least say hi and jump in. Take care, JJ. Thanks for the conversation. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good luck in our league too.
Very
All right, I'm gonna
cool.
bail. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you, everybody.
Take care. Later.